When starting keto or low carb, the one thing you always miss is bread. You try to eat a hamburger, you go somewhere, or you try to make it at home and you try to put it between the lettuce. That is just un-American. It doesn't work. So what I'm going to show you today is how to make keto / low carb buns. And it's really, really good. It only takes 4 ingredients. If you look right over here, we've got 10 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 4 large eggs, and one of the key ingredients is a 1.5 cups of almond flour. So what I'm going to do is take my pan, my bowl, and first thing you do is you put your wet ingredients in here. Okay, so I'm going to mix my wet ingredients together first. My melted butter, and I'm going to put my 4 eggs in here. 2. Grab them. 3. And here's 4. So that's the first part. And we're going to mix it all together. Just kind of get it incorporated.
So what is that, just the butter and the eggs?
This is, oh yeah, just butter and eggs. All we're doing is the wet ingredients and just kind of mashing it in here and mixing it all together. So once that's done, you mix your 3 teaspoons of your baking powder. Get all that in. And that's 1.5 cups of almond flour. So while I'll mix it, and I'll come back in a minute and show you what it's going to look like.
I would be doing this, but I don't want to put him to shame because my cooking is so good. Right?
That's right. Okay, so this is what it should look like, this kind of consistency. So now you're ready to bake. I have preheated my oven to 350 degrees, 10-15 minutes. And I want to show you what you need if you don't have. This is, and I never heard of this before, is a muffin top pan. And you can see the difference. It's just probably only about an inch thick. I'm going to fill all of these up, and then we're going to start baking. I do want to say, if you don't have one of these, get one with where the circumference, the diameter is larger than what I have right here.
It has 6 places instead of that many.
Yeah, it'll have 6 instead of the 12 inches like this one. So anyway, I'm going to start filling these up, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, and here are my, that's what it's going to look like before I pop it in the oven. And Joanna and I, we make more than what we'll need today. We'll probably end up eating, we're going to have hamburgers today, so we'll end up using 3 or 4 of these today. And then what you want to do is once they're done, pop them in, you put them on a cooling rack, and you'll see all that. And then I cut them in half when they cool, and then put them in the freezer. Of course, these have no preservatives, so what'll happen is if you leave them out, they're not going to be good in a couple of days. So keep them in the freezer, that kind of thing. So now I'm going to bake them 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. And now we have our buns. And I will stress, get yourself a muffin top pan. You can put them on a flat piece of parchment paper. It's all good and everything, but I'm going to show you. This is what they look like. They're about that thickness. So I'm going to put them here on my cooler pan, and that's okay. Here are my buns, and I was going to show you. Make what as I said before, take it, cut it in half, and after you've cut all of them, take yourself like a gallon bag, a freezer bag, and just cut everything in half beforehand, and you can just keep them in here because what I've already done is stuck another batch of them in the oven, and I'll be able to have them for this week and probably part of next week. There's lots of things you can do, lots of sandwiches and things. But right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take me a little pat of butter, stick in there while it's good and warm, Me and Joanne are gonna have half each. And that's what it looks like.